And now, The Green Helmet, a heroic farce written in 1910. The persons of the play are Lara, Lara's wife, Conall, Conall's wife, Cuchulainn, Leg, Cuchulainn's chariot driver, Redman, a spirit, stable boys and scullions, Emer and black men, etc. A house made of logs. There are 2 windows at the back and a door which cuts off one of the corners of the room. Through the door one can see low rocks which make the ground outside higher than it is within, and beyond the rocks a misty moonlit sea. Through the windows one can see nothing but the sea. There is a great chair at the opposite side of the door, and in front of it a table with cups and a flagon of ale. Here there are stools. At the Abbey Theatre the house is orange-red and the chairs and tables and flagons black, with a slight purple tinge which is not clearly distinguishable from the black. The rocks are black with a few green touches. The sea is green and luminous, and all the characters except the red man and the black men are dressed in various shades of green, 1 or 2 with touches of purple which look nearly black. The black men all wear dark purple and have eared caps, and at the end their eyes should look green from the reflected light of the sea. The red man is altogether in red. He is very tall, and his height increased by horns on the green helmet. The effect is intentionally violent and startling. Lara. What is that? I had thought that I saw, though, but in the wink of an eye, a cat-headed man out of Connacht go pacing and spitting by. But that could not be. Conall. You've dreamed it. There's nothing out there. I killed them all before daybreak. I hooked them out of their lair. I cut off 100 heads in a single stroke of my sword, and then I danced on their graves and carried away their hoard. Lara. Does anything stir on the sea? Conall. Not even a fish or a gull. I can see for a mile or 2 now that the moon is full. A distant shout. Lara. Ah, there. There's someone who calls us. Conall. But from the landward side. And we have nothing to fear that has not come up from the tide. The rocks and the bushes cover whomever made that noise, but the land will do us no harm. It was like Cuchulainn's voice. But that's an impossible thing. An impossible thing indeed. For he will never come home. He has all that he can need in that high, windy Scotland. Good luck and all he does. Here neighbour wars on neighbour, and why there is no man knows, and if a man is lucky, all wish his luck away, and take his good name from him between a day and a day. Lara. I would he'd come for all that, and make his young wife know that though she may be his wife, she has no right to go before your wife, and my wife as she would have done last night had they not caught her dress and pulled her as was right. And she makes light of us, though our wives do all they can. She spreads her tail like a peacock and praises none but her man. A man in a long green coat that covers him up to the chin comes down through the rocks and hazels. He must look for his dinner elsewhere. For no one alive shall stop where a shame must alight on us 2 before the dawn is up. Lara. No man on the ridge of the world must ever know that but us 2. Conall, outside door. Go away. Go away. Go away! Young man, outside door. I will go when the night is through. And I've eaten and slept and drunk to my heart's delight. Conall. A law has been made that none shall sleep in this house tonight. Young man. Who made that law? We made it. And who has so good a right? Who else has to keep the house from the shape changes till day? Young man. Then I will unmake the law. So get you out of the way. He pushes Conall and goes into the house. Conall. I thought no living man could have pushed me from the door. Nor could any living man do it but for the dip in the floor. And had I been rightly ready, there's no man living could do a dip or no dip. Lara. Go out. If you have your wits, go out. A stone's throw further on you will find a big house where our wives will give you supper, and you'll sleep sounder there, for it's a luckier house. Young man. I'll eat and sleep where I will. Go out, or I will make you. Young man, forcing up Lara's arm, passing him, and putting his shield on the wall over the chair. Not until I have drunk my fill. But may some dog defend me, for a cat's a wonders up. Lara and Conall are here, the flagon full to the top, and the cups. It's his, Cuchulainn. The cups are as dry as a bone. Conall. Go on to Scotland again. Or wherever you will, but be gone from this unlucky country that was made when the devil spat. If I lived here 100 years, could a worse thing come than that Lara and Connell should know me, and bid me be gone to my face? We bid you be gone from a house that has fallen on shame and disgrace. I am losing patience, Connell. I find you stuffed with pride. The flagon full to the brim, the front door standing wide. You'd put me off with words, but the whole thing's plain enough. You are waiting for some message to bring you war or love in that old secret country beyond the white wool waves, or it may be down beneath them in foam-bewildered caves where 9 forsaken sea queens fling shuttles to and fro. But beyond them, or beneath them, whether you will or no, I am going to. Lara, better tell it all out in the end. He was born to luck in the cradle. His good luck may amend the bad luck we were born to. Connell, I'll lay the whole thing bare. You saw the luck that he had when he pushed me past there. You were gone but a little while. We were there and the ale cup full. We were half drunk and merry, and midnight on the stroke, and a wide, high man came in with a red foxy cloak, and half-shut foxy eyes, and a great laughing mouth, and he said, when we bid him drink, that he had so great a draught, he could drink the sea. Cuchulainn, I thought he had come for one of you out of some Connaught wrath, and would lap up milk and dew. But if he so loved water, I the tale or I. Connell, he would not be so merry if he was standing by. For when he had sung or danced, as he were our next of kin, he promised to show us a game, the best that ever had been. And when we had asked what game, he answered, Why, whip off my head. Then one of you two stoop down and I'll whip off his, he said. A head for a head, he said. That is the game that I play. Cuchulainn, how could he whip off a head when his own had been whipped away? Connell, we told him it over and over, and the ale had fuddled his wit. But he stood and laughed at us there, as though his sides would split, till I could stand no longer, and whipped off his head at a blow, being mad that he did not answer, and more at his laughing so. And then on the ground, when it fell, it went on laughing at me. Lara, till he had took it up in his hands, Connell, and splashed himself into the sea. Cuchulainn, I have imagined as good when I have been deep in the cup. You never did. And believed it. Connell, Cuchulainn, when will you stop boasting of your great deeds and weighing yourself with us too, and crying out to the world whatever we say or do, that you've said or done a better? Nor is it a drunkard's tale, though we said to ourselves at first that it all came out of the ale, and thinking that if we told it, we should be a laughingstock, swore to keep it a secret. Lara, but 12 months upon the clock, a 12-month from the first time, and the jug full up to the brim, for we had been put from our drinking by the very thought of him. We stood as we are standing now, the horns were as empty, when he ran up out of the sea with his head on his shoulders again. Cuchulainn, why, this is a tale worth telling. And he called for his debt and his right, and said that the land was disgraced because of us two from that night if we did not pay him his debt. Lara, what is there to be said when a man with a right to get it has come to ask for your head? Connell, if you had been sitting there, you had been silent like us. Lara, he said in 12 months more he would come again to this house, and ask his debt again. 12 months are up today. He would have followed after if we had run away. Connell, will he tell every mother's son that we have broken our word? Cuchulainn, whether he does or not, he'll drive him out with the sword, and take his life in the bargain if he but dare to scoff. Connell, how can you fight with a head that laughs when you've whipped it off? Lara, or a man that can pick it up and carry it out on his hand. Connell, he's coming now. There's a splash and a rumble along the strand as when he came last. Cuchulainn, come, and put all your backs to the door. A tall, red-headed, red-cloaked man stands upon the threshold against the misty green of the sea. The ground, higher without than within the house, makes him seem taller than he even is. He leans upon a great two-handed sword. Lara, it's too late to shut it, for there he stands once more and laughs like the sea. Cuchulainn, old herring, you whip off heads? Why then whip off your own, for it seems you can clap it on again. Or else go down in the sea, I say. Find that old juggler Manannan and whip his head away. Or the red man of the Boyne, for they are of your own sort. Or if the waves have vexed you and you would find a sport of a more Irish fashion, go fight without arrest a caterwauling phantom among the winds of the west. What are you waiting for? Into the water, I say. If there's no sword can harm you, I have an older trick to play. An old 5-fingered trick to tumble you out of the place. I am Sualtim's son, Cuchulainn. What? Do you laugh in my face? Redman. So you too think me in earnest in wagering pole for pole. A drinking joke and a gibe at a juggler's feet, that is all, to make the time go quickly. For I am the drinker's friend, the kindest of all shape-shifting changers from here to the world's end, the best of all tipsy companions. And now, I bring you a gift. I will lay it there on the ground for the best of you all to lift. He lays his helmet on the ground, and wear upon his own head, and choose for yourselves the best. Oh, Lara and Connell are brave, but they were afraid of my jest. Well, maybe I jest too grimly when the ale is in the cup. There. I'm forgiven now. Then, in a more solemn voice as he goes out, let the bravest take it up. Connell takes up helmet and gazes at it with delight. Lara, singing, with a swaggering stride. There is the best between water and hill. He fought in the west with cat heads until at the break of day all fell by his sword, and he carried away their hidden hoard. He seizes the helmet. Connell. Lara, that helmet is mine. For what did you find in the bag but the straw and the broken delf and the bits of dirty rag you'd taken for good money? Cuchulainn. No, but give it to me. He takes helmet. The helmet's mine or Lara's. You're the youngest of us three. Cuchulainn, filling helmet with ale. I did not take it to keep it. The red man gave it for one. But I shall give it to all of us three, or to none. That is as you look upon it. We will pass it to and fro, and time about, drink out of it, and so stroke into peace this cat that has come to take our lives. Now it is purring again. And now I drink to your wives, and I drink to Emer, my wife. A great noise without, and shouting. Why, what in God's name is that noise? Connell. What else but the charioteers in the kitchen and stable boys shouting against each other? And the worst of all is your chariot driver leg, and they'll keep it up till dawn. And there's not a man in the house that will close his eyes tonight or be able to keep them from it or know what set them to fight. A noise of horns without. There, do you hear them now? Such hatred has for each. They have taken the hunting horns to drown the other's speech, for they fear the truth may prevail. Here's your good health and long life, and though she be quarrelsome, good health to Emer, your wife. The charioteers, stable boys, and scullions come running in. They carry great horns and other instruments, ladles, and the like. Leg. I am Leg, Cuchulainn's driver and my master's cock of the yard. Another charioteer. Connell would scatter his feathers. Confused murmurs. Lara. No use. They won't hear a word. Another charioteer. It is Lara that is the best, for he fought with cats and connaughts while Connell took his rest and drained his ale pot. Another. Lara. What does a man of his sort care for the like of us? He did for his own sport. Another. It was all mere luck at the best. But Connell, I say. Let me speak. Leg. You be dumb if the cock of the yard would but open his beak. Before your cock was born, my master was in the fight. Leg. Go home and praise your granddad. They took to the horns for spite, for I said no cock of your sort had been born since the fight began. Connell has got it. The best man has got it, and I am his man. Cuchulainn. Who was it started this quarrel? A stable boy. It was Leg. Another. It was Leg done it all. Leg. A high, wide, foxy man came where we sat in the hall, getting our supper ready with a great voice like the wind, and cried that there was a helmet, or something of the kind, that was for the foremost man upon the ridge of the earth. So I cried your name out in the hall. The others cry out and blow horns, partly drowning the rest of his speech. But they denied its worth, and they cried to drown my voice. But I had so strong a throat that I drowned all their noise, till they took to the hunting horns and blew them in my face. And as neither side would give in, we would settle it in this place. Let the helmet be taken from Connell. A stable boy. No, Connell is the best man here. Another. Give it to Lara, that made the murderous cats pay dear. Cuchulainn. It has been given to none. That our rivalry might cease. We have turned that murderous cat into a cup of peace. I drank the first, And then Connell. Give it to Lara now. Connell gives helmet to Lara, that it may purr in his hand, and all of our servants know that, since the ale went in, its claws went out of sight. A servant. That's well. I will stop my shouting. Another. Cuchulainn is in the right. I'm tired of this bighorn that has made me hoarse as a rook. Lara. Cuchulainn. You drank the first. Another. By drinking the first, he took the whole of the honours himself. Another. If Lara drank from it now, he claims to be last and worst. Cuchulainn and Connell have drunk. He is lost if he takes a drop. Lara, laying helmet on table. Did you claim to be better than us by drinking first from the cup? Cuchulainn. His words are partly drowned by the murmurs of the crowd, though he speaks very loud. That juggler from the sea, that old red herring it is who has set us all by the ears, he brought the helmet for this. And because he would not quarrel, he ran elsewhere to shout that Connell and Lara wronged me till all had fallen out. The murmur grows less so that his words are heard. Who knows where he is now or whom he is spurring to fight? So get you gone. And whatever may cry aloud in the night or show itself in the air, be silent until morn. A servant. Cuchulainn is in the right. I'm tired of this bighorn. Cuchulainn. Go! The servants turn towards the house, but stop on hearing the voices of women outside. Lara's wife, without. Mine is better to look at. Connell's wife. But mine is better born. Emer, without. My man is the pithier man. Cuchulainn. Old hurricane, well done. You've set our wives to the game that they may egg us on. We are to kill each other that you may sport with us. Now they begin to wrestle as to who will be first in the house. The women come to the door, struggling. Emer. No, I have the right of place, for I married the better man. Connell's wife, pulling Emer back. My nails in your neck and shoulder. Lara's wife. And go before me as you can. My husband fought in the west. Connell's wife, kneeling in the door so as to keep the others out who pull at her. But what did he fight with there but sidelong and spitting in helpless shadows of the dim air? And what did he carry away but straw and broken delf? Lara's wife. Your old man made up the tale, trembling alone by himself, drowning his terror. Emer, forcing herself in front. I am Emer, it is I go first through the door. No one shall stand before me or praise any man before my man has been praised. Cuchulainn, putting his spear across the door so as to close it. Come, put an end to their quarrelling. One is as fair as the other, each one the wife of a king. Break down the painted walls, break them down to the floor. Our wives shall come in together, each one at her own door. Lara and Connell begin to break down the walls. Their wives go each to the hole their husband is making. Emer stands at the door and sings. Some of those who carry musical instruments play an accompaniment. Emer. Nothing that he has done is mine, that is fire. His body that is the sun have set my head higher than all the world's wives. Himself on the wind is the gift that he gives. Therefore womankind, when their eyes have met mine, grow cold and grow hot, troubled as with wine by a secret thought, preyed upon, fed upon by jealousy and desire. For I am moon to that sun, I am steel to that fire. Holes have been broken in the walls. Cuchulainn takes his spear from the door, and the three women come in at the same moment. Emer. Cuchulainn, put off this sloth and awake. I will sing till I have stiffened your lip up against every knave that would take a share of your honour. Lara's wife. You lie. For your man would take from my man. Connell's wife. To Lara's wife. You say that, you double-face, and your own husband began. Cuchulainn, taking up helmet from table. Townland may rail at townland till all have gone to wrack. The very straws may wrangle till they've thrown down the stack. The very doorposts bicker till they've pulled in the door. The very ale jars jostle till the ale is on the floor. But this shall help no further. He throws his helmet into the sea. Lara's wife. It was not for your head, and so you would let none wear it, but fling it away instead. Connell's wife. But you shall answer for it, for you've robbed my man by this. Connell. You have robbed us both, Cuchulainn. Lara. The greatest wrong there is on the wide ridge of the world has been done to us two this day. Emer, drawing her dagger. Who is for Cuchulainn? Silence! Who is for Cuchulainn, I say? She sings the same words as before, flourishing her dagger about. While she is singing, Connell's wife and Lara's wife draw their daggers and run at her, but Cuchulainn forces them back. Lara and Connell draw their swords to strike Cuchulainn. Lara's wife, crying out so as to be heard through Emer's singing. Deafen her singing with horns! Connell's wife. Cry aloud, blow horns, make a noise! Lara's wife. Blow horns, clap hands, or shout her, so that you smother her voice! The stable boys and scullions blow their horns or fight among themselves. There is a deafening noise and a confusing fight. Suddenly 3 black hands come through the windows and put out the torches. It is now pitch dark, but for a faint light outside the house which merely shows that there are moving forms, but not who or what they are. And in the darkness one can hear low, terrified voices. A voice. Coal black, and headed like cats they came up over the strand. Another voice. And I saw one stretch to a torch and cover it with his hand. Another voice. Another sooty fellow has plucked the moon from the air. A light gradually comes into the house from the sea, on which the moon begins to show once more. There is no light within the house, and the great beams of the walls are dark and full of shadows, and the persons of the play dark too against the light. The red man is seen standing in the midst of the house. The black cat-headed men crouch and stand about the door. One carries the helmet, one the great sword. Red man. I demand the debt that's owing. Let some man kneel down there, that I may cut his head off, or all shall go to rack. Cuchulainn. He played, and paid with his head, and it's right that we pay him back, and give him more than he gave, for he comes here as a guest. So I will give him my head. Emer begins to keen. Little wife, be at rest. Alive, I have been far off in all lands under the sun, and have been no faithful man. But when my story is done, my fame shall spring up and laugh, and set you high above all. Emer, putting her arms around him. It is you, not your fame that I love. Cuchulainn tries to put her from him. You are young. You are wise. You can call some kinder and comelier man that will sit at home in house. Emer. Live, and be faithless still. Cuchulainn, throwing her from him. Would you stay the great barnacle goose when its eyes are turned to the sea and its beak to the salt of the air? Emer, lifting her dagger to stab herself. I, too, on the grey wing's path. Cuchulainn, seizing dagger. Do you dare? Do you dare? Do you dare? Bear children, and sweep the house. Forcing his way through the servants who gather round. Wail, but keep from the road. He kneels before the red man. Quick to your work, old radish. You will fade when the cocks have crowed. A black cat-headed man holds out the helmet. The red man takes it. Red man. I have come not for your hurt. I'm the rector of this land, and with my spitting cat heads, my frenzied moon-bred band, age after age I sift it, and choose for its championship the man who hits my fancy. He places the helmet on Cuchulainn's head. And I choose the laughing lip, that shall not turn from laughing whatever rise or fall. The heart that grows no bitterer, although betrayed by all. The hand that loves to scatter. the life like a gambler's throw. And these things I make prosper till a day come that I know, when heart and mind shall darken, that the weak may end the strong, and the long remembering harpers have matter for their song. The end. That was the end of the Green Helmet. I believe next in the myth of Cuchulainn we have On Bailey's Strand. So stay tuned for that, and I hope to have you back in Brendan Moir's Playwright Corner. Thank you.